Donald Trump slamming Republican leaders for not unifying behind him and saying, you know what, he may forge ahead alone.
They have to get tougher. They have to get sharper. They have to get smarter. We have to have our Republicans either stick together or let me just do it by myself. I'll do very well.
Joining me now, Herman Cain, former presidential candidate and Fox News contributor. Herman Cain, what do you think? Can he do it alone?
Yes, he can. But here's what he's saying, Melissa. He is simply saying, to use an analogy, I'm inviting you to go to the movie with me, but if you won't go, I want to see Independence Day. And Independence Day is defeating Hillary Clinton. So they are invited to go, but they got to get tougher and get on board. That's all he is saying.
I love your analogy. It assumes that he can get there on his own, though. And if you look, I mean, the last 3 weeks have been tough. He has been hurting in the polls. You know, I mean, he's strayed what they think is off message, and you've seen sort of the reaction out there not be positive to it. So I don't know that he can go it alone.
He can go it alone. The last 3 weeks have been tough. I agree with you, but remember, a poll is a trend. Some of the polls would use 1,000 to 1,200 people in the sample. 126 million people voted in the 2012 presidential election. And we've already acknowledged that Donald Trump is attracting people from across the spectrum. He doesn't want to go it alone, but it is possible for him to go it alone because of the appeal he has across all spectrum.
Let me ask you about threading that needle because, for example, you know, what he said about you know, being able not allowing people that are on the watch list to go out and buy guns, or whether it's assault rifles or a specific group or any guns at all. I'm listening to the radio this morning, and one station says, oh my gosh, he's really done it this time. He's made the GOP furious. He's made the NRA furious. This is the end. I switched to another channel, and they say, Donald Trump, wow, he is threading the needle. He's a genius. You know, he's over on the right, and he said this thing that's going to bring in people from the left, and it's common sense. I don't know who to believe.
Here's what they didn't report. He said he wants to talk to the NRA. Why? They've been tracking this for a long, long, long time. They probably got more information that they can use to help educate him.
We know they don't want to do it. We know they don't want to do it. We know, I mean, they tweeted right back that they don't agree with the idea of denying people weapons who haven't been convicted of a crime. I mean, you can get on that watch list a lot of different ways. That's their stand and has been for a long time. And when he says stuff like that, you wonder, does he not know the NRA's stand, or does he not care?
No, Melissa, no, please, don't buy into the Kool-Aid, okay? Here is what the NRA's apprehensions are, which are the same as Donald Trump. They want to make sure that they define it strictly in terms of how you get on the watch list, or if you get on there, what are you able to do to remedy it? I know of some personal situations where a friend of mine went to Germany and she had a 2-year-old baby. On the way back to Germany, somehow, because of her baby's name, that baby was on the watch list, and it took her days to clear it up.
Right.
This is the apprehension. It's not cut and dry. That's all Donald Trump is saying, and that's all that the NRA is saying.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, there's lots of people who have stories about getting on these lists erroneously, but then, of course, whenever, you know, a terrorist attacks here, you say, why weren't they on the list, or they were on and then they were off. It's a difficult issue. Thank you for coming on and helping us sort through it. Always a pleasure, my friend.